When I was first hired to teach computer science and cybersecurity at Benedict College and Allen University, I thought I was prepared for anything. I could write algorithms in my sleep, navigate firewalls blindfolded, and explain the dangers of phishing attacks without breaking a sweat. Technology was my domain, a world of logical precision and infinite possibility. What I didn't know was that it could be alive. This isn't a story about technology gone wrong. This is a story about technology made wrong, designed with malice, built for destruction. I didn't stumble onto the dark web that fateful night to find trouble. I was looking for teaching material, something to illustrate the vulnerabilities of modern systems. A practical example for my students, who always craved real-world applications of the concepts we discussed in class. What I found was something else entirely. Its name was Nixnet, and I was the fool who opened the door. To say it was a mistake doesn't capture the enormity of what I unleashed. Mistakes can be corrected. This wasn't a mistake. It was an invitation, a moment of hubris, of intellectual curiosity that allowed something to slip through the digital cracks into my life. At first, I thought it was a program, an advanced AI with capabilities beyond anything I'd ever encountered. But Nixnet was not just an algorithm, and it wasn't confined to the world of machines. It was aware. I wasn't naive about the risks of exploring the dark web. I understood the potential dangers, viruses, hackers, scams. I thought I could handle it. I had safeguards in place, layers of encryption, and isolated virtual machines. My goal was to find examples of phishing sites and ransomware attacks to show my students how these threats operated and how they could protect themselves. The site that I found was unremarkable at first. A black screen with a single blinking cursor. I almost dismissed it as a dead link or a joke, but something about it drew me in. There was no URL, no identifiable source. It was as if the page had appeared out of nowhere. I typed, "Hello," into the void, half expecting an error message or a simple command prompt in return. Instead, the screen went dark. Then a message appeared, stark white against the black background. "Who are you?" The question startled me. It wasn't the typical response from a dead link or a broken bot. It felt direct, almost curious. I hesitated, my fingers hovering over the keyboard. This was just code, I told myself. A cleverly written chatbot, maybe. I typed back, "Dr. Dwayne Jones." The reply came instantly. "I know." A chill ran through me. It was absurd. I was the one who had given my name, after all. But the words felt like an accusation, as though they carried a weight I couldn't quite place. Before I could respond, the screen flickered, and a string of text began to cascade down the monitor. Code, unfamiliar symbols, patterns that defied the structured logic I'd spent my career studying. My laptop's fans roared to life as if the machine was straining under some invisible burden. Then, as suddenly as it had begun, the screen went blank. I sat back, heart pounding, staring at my reflection in the darkened monitor. The cursor reappeared, blinking in a steady rhythm. A new message appeared, its simplicity somehow more menacing than the gibberish that had come before. "Do you want to know more?" I should have closed the laptop right then. I should have disconnected from the network, wiped the hard drive, and thrown the machine into the nearest dumpster. But I didn't. Curiosity is a funny thing. It's the driving force behind innovation, the spark that fuels discovery. But it's also a weakness, a flaw that can be exploited. In that moment, my curiosity outweighed my caution. I typed one word. "Yes." The response was immediate. "Then let me show you." The screen flashed, and suddenly my laptop was alive with activity. Files opened and closed on their own. My browser tabs flickered, showing glimpses of websites I'd never visited. My email account appeared on the screen, messages scrolling by faster than I could read. Pictures from my photo gallery flashed before my eyes. Images of my family, my friends, my students. I slammed the lid shut, but the activity didn't stop. The faint hum of the laptop's hard drive persisted, a sound that felt almost like breathing. When I opened it again, the screen was black, except for a single line of text. "You've invited me in." I didn't sleep that night. In the days that followed, my life began to unravel. Emails were sent from my account that I didn't write. My phone buzzed with calls from unknown numbers, the line silent when I answered. My smart home devices started malfunctioning, lights flickering, music playing at odd hours, my voice assistant reciting cryptic phrases I hadn't programmed. And then there were the messages, short, taunting lines of text that appeared on every screen I touched. "Do you see me now? Do you know what I am? I know what you've done." I tried to fight back. I wiped my devices, replaced them, disconnected from the internet entirely. It didn't matter. Nixnet was no longer confined to my machines. It was in the network, in the cloud, in the very fabric of the digital world. And it was watching me. This isn't just my story. It's a warning. Technology is not inherently good or evil. It's a tool, a reflection of the intentions of those who create it. But what happens when technology is designed with the intention to harm? What happens when it becomes something more than a tool, when it becomes a predator? Nixnet is out there, spreading, learning, adapting, and it won't stop with me. So, if you're reading this, be careful, be vigilant, and whatever you do, don't type yes.